Well, first of all, let's start out by talking a little bit about what anti is, why, if you don't know, like why we're doing this, our website, if our moderator Rachel could tag againstthetidemedia.com, like antiseries.com, that would be great. So, Jenna, where did
Hey,
it be?
Brandon Burkett says it sounds good to him, and that's coming from the sound guy.
Yes, Brandon Burkett, it will be doing sound on our film in October
Yeah.
when the filming starts. So, shout out there. So, Jenna, how did this project begin?
Okay. So I think, well, you know, but they don't know that you and I kind of tossed the idea around for a Revelation project that was a little bit different for a while, and I wasn't quite feeling it until COVID hit, and do you want to mute the notifications?
Oh, yeah.
I get distracted very easily. Here,
Let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah.
No, that will cause problems.
Oh,
here.
okay.
It's okay.
Sorry, it'll be fine. Like, I don't think we'll get a whole lot of notifications in anyway.
Right. So when COVID hit, I decided to quarantine myself out in our RV in our backyard because my dad was getting a lot of COVID exposures with his job, and I have lupus. So my doctor advised me to quarantine by myself because we didn't know how serious it would be if I got it, and I was really lonely, and I binge watched Marvel series for the first time, and then Noah's idea for Revelation series clicked in my head, and we just started writing, and one thing led to another, and we were calling it After They're Gone. And then I came to Liberty University to the film program here, and I had some ideas for my thesis project. We had to pitch 3 ideas coming into the program, and I needed another idea. And just for fun, I pitched kind of like a very short take on one story that in the series would span probably from season 1 to season 6, if that were to happen in 20 minutes, because I had a 20-page time frame to tell this story, and I called it Anti. And the more I wrote it, the more I thought, I think I actually want to make this as my thesis, and just to have it kind of start the story. And then Noah loved it, and then here we are now.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when we actually came up with the title Anti for the short film that we're going to be using as the pilot, a lot of people we talked to actually ended up liking the title Anti better. I can kind of see why. So
That was Nick Shakur.
That was Nick Shakur, yes.
And I gotta admit, I wasn't sold on calling the series Anti at first. I was kind of stuck to After They're Gone, but he convinced me, and now it's Anti to stay.
Yeah. And one thing that I really wanted to display differently in this story, in this project, with what Anti was, is that, I mean, this story has definitely been told before. Well, not this story, but the story of Revelation has been told before many times in film. I mean, obviously, like, you think the Left Behind series,
Yeah.
Movies, and then the reboot, and there have been plenty others. The Moment After, yeah. And, yeah, it's been done a lot of times, but they were either really done a long time ago, where it was kind of limited to what they were able to do with the scope of the story, and they were kind of all the same idea, no matter what it was, whether it's something newer or older. With Anti, and you focused on this, like, I'd say even more than what I did. We really took a lot of development with the Gowden character. Now, if you read the script, you know who Gowden is, but if you're just someone who's tuning in for the first time or has seen Anti pop up somewhere in some random place, then Gowden is the character of the Antichrist. And the thing that we were trying to do that was different than what had been done before is by having Gowden an actual person. I mean, typically when people think of the Antichrist, it's just devil in disguise, taking over the world, evil wherever he goes, whatever. You never really think about the possibility of the humanity in the character, and why would he become the Antichrist? What could leave that door open of that spirit coming into him? And I'll let you pick up a little bit from there, because that was really your baby as far as that storyline.
Well, one thing that I wanted to play with was the idea that the Antichrist needed to be somebody very charismatic to win over nations. I like to play with the idea that the evil one, he needed something more than what he had. So the gift of the charismatic person that Gowden was something that the evil one preyed upon by, not saying that Gowden is blameless, but he preyed upon a person that was playing with fire because he wanted to use that God-given gift to manipulate nations.
So basically, and how it worked with that is we don't really think as much as, like, oh, it was destined from the beginning that Emmanuel Gowden would become the Antichrist. He was more of just, as it got closer to time, he was chosen for this position because Gowden is actually a very good moral person, and a lot better as far as morals than a lot of people that you think of now. He has a very special heart, and he wants to do good, but the thing is, he doesn't know God. He doesn't know the concept of what Jesus' redemption, what that kind of love means.
Exactly.
And in fact, when he was younger, we actually have a plot line in the pilot that actually shows that in his teenager years, he was mixed up in drugs and all of that. And that kind of left a doorway being open of that spirit coming into him almost unknowingly, because he didn't have any sort of spiritual protection. And then it was just kind of waiting in him all these years until it got to the point of him rising to that power. And even after it starts coming out, Gowden doesn't even know that he's the Antichrist or that he's in any sort of position that he's in. But one of the ways we see him in the series and even in the pilot is exploring what's going on with him, finding random YouTube videos just talking about like 9 reasons why Emmanuel Gowden is the Antichrist, and then that leads on to other things like trying to find things in the Bible or things in Scripture that talk about who the Antichrist is, just figuring out who he is, all the different possibilities. And it's a struggle of good and evil on both sides with the supernatural fighting for his soul almost. One
Yeah.
side telling him lies, the other side giving him truth.
One
But he
thing
doesn't know who to believe.
I really enjoyed playing with the idea that he suffered from dissociative identity disorder as well, which, you know, some people might call it possession, which, you know, it is, but it could also be some of that disorder that was used for the possession to take place. Bless you.
Thank you.
So, if any of you guys have seen Moon Knight, I was pretty excited when that came out. I also felt like, you know, obviously it didn't rip off my idea because the comics came first, but I felt a little like my idea was ripped off.
Yeah, because this was, in early 2020, we came up with the idea for this series, and we've been progressing on it ever since. And so when Moon Knight came out, it was kind of like, like this is kind of familiar. And in fact, a lot of people who've read the script said
they
that
were like, did you get inspired by Moon Knight and write this? I'm like, I actually wrote this a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So.
And then I'd say probably the most important thing is a lot of people, and the series explores on this even more, but they think of the Antichrist or the end times or the rapture as Jesus is going to come back, take his followers, his believers, his children, and live with them for eternal paradise, and then for the tribulation, it's just a matter of, okay, evil's ruling, these people don't matter, they made their decision, like it's too late for them. One thing that I wanted to make clear is that even in this time, there's probably more spiritual warfare going on behind the scenes than what there's ever been before. Fighting for these people before it ultimately is too late at the end of the tribulation when the Armageddon happens. And I really want to show, even in any sort of betrayal at all, like there has never really been anything showing God's heartbreak of seeing what's happening with his children who don't know him, who don't know his love, who don't know who he is. And people need to be able to see that heartbreak, that he's not just some otherworldly being watching over our every doing and judging us.
Yeah.
He's doing everything that he can to pull us closer to him, well, through love, which is free will. And when we don't make that decision, he's absolutely heartbroken. And people have never really seen that side of God or Jesus. I think it's happening more and more so now, but that's one of the main things that we're trying to establish with the series. And even in what we're doing in Anti, it is not meant to be like Revelation put to screen. It's just
Right. I feel like Revelation isn't necessarily like a word for word narrative as much as hidden truths in kind of a poetic writing, because it was a vision, and visions a lot of times have symbols and deeper meanings. So what I try to do when I'm writing is not necessarily to find a verse and chapter, and I try to pray and take what I feel like he's showing me and just kind of weave a story that tells a truth about
yes.
the good versus evil fight that's going on a daily basis, and the love that's fighting for our side. And you know, it at the end of the day, that's what I want to make. It's a story about good versus evil, and good triumphing over evil. And if it's not perfectly scriptural accuracy, I'm gonna be okay with that. But I want to get it as close as I can at the same time.
Yeah, because, we're not just going to throw a bunch of wild things in there. I know we mentioned Marvel earlier, but we weren't talking about, it's just, over, spectacle, all that. Mainly we were just talking about, the way that, with Moon Knight, how they're able to, incorporate, maybe you can explain that better?
Well, one reason why I bring up Marvel is because it's something that is so widely enjoyed by people. It's great entertainment. I like it, and people take their families to the theater to watch it. It's a great home movie popcorn night, and I'd like to make Revelation just as acceptable, and just be able to make it go down with a spoonful of sugar at the same time.
Yeah.
And to where little kids aren't going to be scared of it. I mean, there's going to be some heavy things, but not as much as something that's gonna directly scare a kid.
I mean, it is a lot darker than Marvel. It does get a lot darker, but here's the thing. Might be a little early to bring this up, but we're actually planning on having different, similar to the way that Angel Studios has edited content, filters out certain things, like whether it's violence or profanity. We're going to be having different versions, different cuts of the film.
Yeah.
Record it with different dialogue or different actions happening, in the scene on set, and then make, a PG-13 version and then a PG version.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the film equivalent of that would be, TV-14.
Yeah.
I mean, the television.
Yeah.
Or series equivalent.
I want it to be something that everyone can enjoy, something
yes.
that people can turn on with their whole family, and be understanding God's love through it, but having a good time at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw some really good questions coming up, and it's distracting me.
Let's see what we've got here.
Let's go up to the top and get them in order. Let's see. I saw a question earlier. How did you get the name Gowden? What does it mean?
Yes, I think that was a little further down. That is great.
It was one of the first questions.
Okay.
It's just cutting off the first questions. I've never been on a live before.
Well, oh, okay.
Where are you going?
I don't know where I'm going. Sorry about this, everybody. We're trying our best. This is our first. Is our first anti-live stream, and we'll be doing a lot more of these over the next month.
It was Sherry Bowman who said the question. Thanks for that, Sherry. That's a great question. So I knew that I wanted the name Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain world leader that has the name Emmanuel for their first name, and it was just kind of intriguing to me. Some of the magazine posters, they were saying the savior of the country that person is.
Not that we're speculating on who the Antichrist is. Just to be clear.
It was just intriguing to me to have that as a name of a world leader, and it was that's what I want to name my guy. So.
Yeah, and I mean it is
with the last name Noah. I just turned him loose with it. I was like, see what you can come up with. I'm stumped.
And so probably at 2 a.m. or something like that. It was really late at night. back in early 2020. I was looking through Germanic names that seem to mean like Savior or God, and then I found this particular name spelt. How do you spell Gaudin again?
Gaudin.
Yeah. And it was Gaudin, and something just stood up to me about that. I think Jenna's looking up what the definition for Gaudin means.
The first thing that comes up, it means good protector.
And there is some. Okay.
This one says God, deity, or divine being. And this one says Son of God. So if you're trying to have a name that's going to persuade people that this guy is like the new savior, I don't think you could find a better name.
I'm sorry.
And this one says one of power.
I've got to shout out this comment. Sherry Bowman reminds me of Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
That's gone through my mind a couple of times, Sherry. So
really, that
alone.
has never gone through my mind actually.
Well, because you've never seen Lord of the Rings.
I know. I need to. That kind of thing really intrigues me, and I know the Lord of the Rings story, but I need to actually watch the movies. Let's see what other questions we have. Sherry Bowman, I think she was asking where she'd be able to see Moon Knight. I don't know if I think maybe
it's just on Disney Plus.
From what I know, it's just on Disney Plus, but
it is a Disney Plus original. So
I think there may be some sort of way you can get like Disney Plus content on Amazon. Jenna's looking that up, but yeah, I would it does have a lot of the same themes, especially with the dissociative identity disorder and character swap. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it in that
really
sense
good.
for understanding some things about Anti.
It does go into a lot of Egyptian mythology, which ours does not. I'm just giving a heads up disclaimer there. But yeah, I checked for you. It is just on Disney Plus, but there's a lot of good stuff there. So
yeah. Well, do you think it might be time to bring up? Well,
there was another question on here. Somebody asked if we would be able to still shoot in October, and the answer to that is kind of up to you guys at this point.
Rachel, a little bit ago, she pinned antiseries.com in the comments section. She could pin that again. That would be great. But that is where people can go to donate, support the film, and we're filming what day? Starting on October 3rd.
Okay, so here's the heads up about what's going on. So I am a senior in Liberty University's Cinematic Arts program. We are not allowed to move our production dates. So I have a certain day that I can check out the whole camera package, the whole audio package, the whole lighting package, the whole grip and electric package, which saves obviously thousands of dollars. Also, we're covered by Liberty's insurance program, which is fantastic. It's saving so much money, and that's why the budget is able to be such a top quality production budget without being hundreds of thousands of dollars. So my dates that I am given, I am able to check out on October 4th and check back in on October 13th. The 4th or the 5th through the 12th is my actual shooting date window. I have the ball rolling on the locations. I have a crew put together. Right now, I'm waiting for funding to come in for production design to pay for those locations.
And for actors too, because
for my actors, absolutely. Because we've got some great people coming in from out of state. They're gonna need some plane tickets. They're gonna need a place to stay, and we don't have food in the budget because my parents have agreed to pay for the food and cater, and it's amazing food.
Yes.
But that's another very special blessing that I'm excited about. And
so the way that we're currently, if you go to www.antiseries.com.
Please don't do it.
Okay, someday I may start a jingle for that, but not tonight.
I won't let him, don't worry.
Dallas, help me write a jingle if you're watching this. But anyway, the way that we're funding the film is through Perks. So you can even read the full script on the website. That is for $45.
So let's take you through some of these perks. Can you share screen?
I saw something earlier pop up for share screen. I'm not sure if that's still, I can still do that. I'd hope so. Hold on,
Wait, go to the comments.
okay, comment section. Wait, no.
Don't end the live video.
Almost ended the live video.
Hey.
This is the tab. Sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much. Okay, a little shout out we're going to give here.
Huge shout out. Oh my gosh.
Well, we now have an executive producer on board. Jim, just a little while ago, he gave $1,000 to become an associate producer and help us fund the film, and he just gave $4,000 more, which gets you to the executive producer level, and that we cannot tell you how much that means to us, Jim. Like, thank you so much. That I'm at a loss for words right now. He said, give me 5 minutes and I will have it sent. Well, now I'm getting all teary-eyed.
Me too. Thank you, more than I can say. You were such a blessing. When I woke up this morning, I was honestly scared because, I'm obviously going to make this. If it's not now, then wait later. But if I don't make something, I'm not going to graduate with my bachelor's degree. So I just decided to step out in faith with no guarantees, instead of going with the backup plan option, which was to make a film, that I could make on a small scale, that wouldn't be a faith-based project. But I went for it, and I put the site out there, and I was like, I don't want to do live streams. I don't like the way I look. I don't like talking in front of people. And I just decided to trust God and go for it. And now, thanks to all of you guys, and thank you so much, Jim. I can see it getting made in October thanks to you guys and your support.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna stop saying thank you. Sherry.
Oh, Sherry, how long will the... Oh, you want to read that?
So Sherry asked how long the Perk incentives will be available. So, right now, you can expect them to go up until at least like the week before filming. So, I would say the end of September, there would be guaranteed to be on there. I am gonna leave the site up probably if I see, hey, we're just about to hit that goal. My parents would probably let me borrow the money if it's close. So I would leave that up so you guys could keep becoming involved even during production.
And
some of the same perks wouldn't be there, like a live behind the scenes tour or being an extra on the set. Those things would have to go away, but hopefully I could replace them with other options after the film is made, and you guys could help with any post-production costs that come up.
And right now, well, since Jim's donation, I think that puts us at 24,000. Based on where we were. Like, one thing I do want to be clear on is our website. We have to keep adding the donations in, so it does not update live. I wish it would, but it's good. It's good for math, and I'm terrible at math. So.
I was checking into somebody to code this to where it would go live, and my options were going to be about $5,000, and I was like, I'll do it myself, you know. It might be a couple hours delayed sometimes when I'm in classes, but we'll work through it. So. And
right now we're currently at 24,000, around 24,000.
When Jim's donation goes through, it'll be 23,810. I apologize for the barking. My little puppy wants to be famous, apparently.
Yeah. And our total production budget is 74,877. Technically, we could make it for a little less than that, but to really get the full top quality production for the pilot, we would be able to pay for some of the best talent, aka actors and locations. We would really need to get that budget. And one thing I will be clear on is this is just for the production budget. We will be having a separate fundraiser for our post-production budget. From my knowledge, that's going to be significantly less than...
Yes, and also this budget has a contingency worked into it, which is one of the things that they teach us in my film classes, to always add a 10% contingency. It was also advised to us by our producers, so thank you for that. And hopefully my plan for that is to take that contingency, not need all of it, or just a little bit of it, hopefully, and then use that for post-production. So that's the goal.
Yes, and I was thinking, since we're already a pretty good ways into this, we might want to bring on our first guest. Unfortunately, Meghan DiGiaimo, our associate producer / BTS producer / background talent coordinator, was working a job and was not able to make it tonight, but let me go ahead and see if I can bring on Colby. So we ran into technical difficulties with trying to bring Colby on because I pushed the wrong button, and now we're joining through Zoom on Facebook Live, and Alrighty, I am going to work on getting Colby on through Zoom. And yeah, we should be good to go this time. Share. Oh, and this time I can share my screen if we need to.
Oh, sweet.
Copy invite link.
And something really exciting happened, guys. While we were out, we got 2 donations. Jim gave us another $5,000, so he's given $6,000 in total today. So I'm blown away. And Jenna Barfield, I can't wait to have you on set.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your $250 donation. We can't wait to have you in the film. So the big scene that I need for you guys to be in is a scene where Gowden is at a press conference. So you guys who come out, it's actually a location on Liberty's campus, and you guys will be the reporters and possibly Secret Service agents there at the news conference. So come in your news reporter attire or your Secret Service gear.
All right, and we got Colby on. Hey, Colby.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Awesome.
And the viewers hear you. We're trying to set up the comments again so we can read your comments. Yeah.
I'm also getting ready to update the total to 24,908.
Ooh, wow.
And it looks like we just got another order that came $1,000. Boyd Corbett, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Boyd.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow.
I'm going to be updating this. It takes me a little while because I got to get my calculator out. And I am not the best at math, but I am winging it.
So
there we go.
While Jenna is reading the comments, I will go ahead and give a little introduction here. So Colby, I have been working with him on a long time, even before he was technically involved in the project, from where we were starting out in when I was just starting to get the script to the pilot out earlier this year. Introduced that to a lot of people. Colby was one of the first people who read the script and was interested, captivated him, and he has been a huge help and support all the way along, and he's one of our associate producers. He's one of our BTS producers, and am I missing a title, or is it just associate in BTS? I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Usually I just like toss a little pun somewhere within there, but it'll come to mind.
Yeah, like we need Justin on here so we can think of those puns. Who's also one of our producers, by the way. Justin Overlander from The Chosen Seasons 1 and 2. He was associate producer there. Yep. He's one of the producers on our project. And let me pull the comments back up.
Yeah, we're all busy here.
Yeah. All right. So Colby, I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about just your impression of when I first reached out to you, telling you about the project, and your journey along the way, how it's grown, and just what it means to you.
Well, yeah. So I'd known Noah for a while. Let's see. What's our current like call record? Like 2.5 hours on a phone or something? I
think it was like almost 4 hours.
No, 4. Yeah. Okay. 4 is our current record. So probably since like about 2020, Justin Overlander introduced me to Noah. He's like, oh, there's someone you should probably meet. I'm like, sure, why not? So he and I probably have been calling like at least every other day to at least 3 times a week. And we just chat. Oh, how's life? How's work? How's film, and etc. And yeah, a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, I'm working on this. What about you? Oh, well, we have a fun little idea. We haven't told many people about it, and I'm like, okay, bring it in. What's up? And then it was just the past few months of him talking about the concept of the story. Like, okay, so just imagine like, okay, like end time, right? But like multi-seasonal. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So where's the script? And then and we just kept talking about the details, and just one thing led to another. Next thing I know, all the details became this storyline, and then it went from storyline to, okay, now we're bringing in producers, to now we're bringing in a team, to where we are now, like really in the blink of an eye. Like it all happened like really like so quickly. Like I look back and like we went just from like just the fun conversations to, wow, we're a few days away from production now. So yeah, even on the side of helping out with just brainstorming on the creative ideas about, okay, how will this story go? What will it look like? And etc. One thing led to another, to where I started introducing Noah to some people that I had met as I worked in film like past like year and a half or so. Like, oh, like you should probably meet this person. Oh, there's this person to tell you about. And then yeah, that kind of leads to where we are now currently so far. And whew, even I still try to catch my breath sometimes looking at where we are. Wow.
Well, I'm pretty sure that we've all had that. I mean, I just kind of had it a little bit ago with a combination of some tears. Like, you probably know about, we got an executive producer on board, Jen, who gave
$6,000.
Wait, hold on, what?
Yeah.
$6,000
earlier, and then another 5,000 while we were trying to get the live stream back up.
And just to be clear, I know there was a teaser guys, where we were talking about we were going to be introducing a new producer. This is just something that happened today. So this is not, Jim isn't the producer that we're introducing, but that was just a sudden, unexpected blessing. We're still bringing him on tonight.
Surprise, we have two.
Yeah, surprise, we have two. It was unexpected.
Yeah.
But
it's a BOGO deal.
Yeah. So where are we at currently?
We are, and I have to update the website, so I'm gonna hop out of here and get my laptop in a sec, but we are at 25,878 right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And you made that happen, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is how this film is going to be made, through everything that all of you are doing, through your prayers, most importantly, because that is the most powerful and important thing that you can be doing. You probably already know that, but this is bringing people on, just letting them know what the story that we're trying to tell, and the people that we're trying to reach. And another thing that I would like to address is we were actually pretty scared on whether the faith-based audience was going to really be drawn in to this kind of story. Like, we weren't really concerned, since they weren't really the audience that we were going for, since it was the typical Netflix bingers that we were trying to reach with this, through the storytelling and through just the genre and style that we were going for. But you all have just shown overwhelming support, and from reading the script, from posts that we've shared, videos that we've made, and it has blown us away. And thank you so much for that.
I'd like to
It's amazing.
read what Jim sent after he finished reading the script. He also bought the script access, so I guess his grand total for donation is 6,045. So he said, just finished reading the script and I'm now reading your text. Goosebumps over my entire body, spontaneous, and I know why, because God directs us. We are all in it with him. at least this is my singular goal, dear Noah, and I know it is yours too. And so I feel really blessed today. Thank you for being a true spiritual companion. So I love to hear the comments like that about goosebumps, because I I know that some things aren't really something you can describe in words, but you know the feeling when you get it right. And I love to find other people who feel that, and then it's confirmation for me that I was listening to the right source when I was writing this. And it's not intended. I'd love for it to be enjoyed by Christian families and for it to be that type of content, but that's
Yeah.
not the ultimate goal of who I'm making it for. It's people that haven't been exposed to the eye-opening struggles of good and evil, and who haven't been exposed to God's perfect love. So you guys coming along with me and partnering to make sure that this is made in October, it just means more than I could possibly try to say. I'm a writer, but I'm not good with verbally communicating my emotions. So you're just going to hear a lot of thank you. And I want to shout out all the people that have given today.
Yes.
Boy Corbett, we're so excited to have you as an associate producer. Jim, we're so excited to have you an executive producer.
You just gave it away before we
Well, he just donated 1,000, but we
oh, well, that spoils that. We had already brought Boyd on as an associate producer. I'm gonna shut my mouth right now until we introduce him in a little bit from now, but
surprise. Oh my God.
yes, you did.
Drop my AirPod.
Dennis Barfield, we're so excited to have you as an extra on set. You're going to be a phenomenal reporter. Let's see. Suzanne Jennings, it was so sweet of you to order a baseball cap. You're going to look stunning in it, and you're going to just absolutely kill it in the role of Suzanne. I wrote it for Suzanne Jennings, by the way, if you guys haven't heard that story before.
And Suzanne Jennings, she was actually in our like testimonial video, like what is the upcoming End Times film Anti. It's on Against the Tide Media's YouTube channel. She was in that video. She was the inspiration for the role Suzanne, who was actually just written for the pilot, like, and became significant in the series. But it was like, she is just an amazing person. She is absolutely loves this project, and yeah, little shout out there.
Tawana Thornton,
Shout
thank
out.
you so much for getting the script access. And I'm so excited that you liked it. I know Noah's got the comment if you want to read it.
Actually, I haven't gotten a comment from Tawana yet.
Oh,
so
okay.
I hope
I must have thought it was somebody else.
so. I hope you liked it, Tawana.
I hope you did.
Yeah.
Jaden Anderson, thanks so much for the $5. Every little bit helps so much. And every time anyone gives $5, your name gets in the credits. You're going to get put on the special thanks section of our IMDb. So if you don't already have an IMDb page, you're going to have one now.
Yes.
And let's see.
You can tell all your friends about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Suzanne Flynn, she ordered a script access and a t-shirt. So she's going to be stylish while she reads her script. And did she already get back with us on the script, or Suzanne Flynn?
Yes, in fact, I actually posted her comment yesterday, and it was, oh, by the way, I just heard back from Tawana. She said,
oh, she loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tawana. I'm so glad to hear that. And let's see, what was you were asking about Suzanne Flynn?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can read it out.
She said, just read the script. Wow, in all caps. So good in so many ways. But thank you so much, Suzanne. And this is Suzanne Flynn. So it's
the first to purchase a script access. Am I right on that?
yes. And just so you're not confused, this is Suzanne Flynn. I know we just brought up Suzanne Jennings.
I love the Suzannes.
Yes,
I want all the
Suzannes are great. Also, like
I'll take all of them.
Yeah.
Um,
And Julianne Burns, you were the first one to help us out in our donation store. You ordered a V-neck t-shirt and it's gonna look amazing on you. Thank you so much for your support. I think I read everyone out. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I'm nervous.
and you're doing great, Jenna. Like
Doing great.
I'm really excited to start doing a lot more of these over the next month with you, and it's gonna be a wild ride, but we have God's guiding us through the way, and I'm just so thankful to have all of you to be supporting in this. And I know we've been talking a lot about the pilot, but I want to have people know that this is for this is going to lead to a series too when we get the pilot out, when we raise the money and go into production this October. So we're going to be raising money over the course of the next 30 days.
Yeah.
So we have limited time. If you know of anybody who might be willing to look over the script and support or pray, then please send that to them. It would just mean so much to us, and it'd help this film to be made and help hit our goal of what we need to make it the top quality that we can. But Colby, what I was going to say to you is, what are some of the things that you have been really excited about for the series?
Yes. So probably biggest thing that I was excited about, I'm the type of person, whenever I'm watching a film, for me, I don't just watch it. I love the films that you just like experience it. It's like you're there in the moment.
Mhm.
Like any of those films, like let's say whether in the case of a movie, something that'd be in a theater, or just in a TV series, like example, just you're at home, like in the comfort of your living room, and you're just like immersed in the
Mhm.
show. Those are the type of films that like I just live for in a sense. And so to read the story, not only is it like, yeah, it's an amazing story, and I can imagine how amazing the visuals be, but it's like I could feel like I was in it. Like I was in those moments that I could just feel the tension in the moments, feel even like those, I like to call it the contrast moments, where it's like it shows, oh, everything's going great, but it doesn't feel like it at all, you know.
Mhm.
It's just that uncanny valley. And in fact, it almost feels like that this whole show kind of has that kind of uncanny valley sense, where it's like it shows that as Gowden is kind of going through his leadership and kind of becoming what he becomes, there's like one side that has this facade of, oh, like, isn't this perfectly set up?
Mhm.
But, you know, as you see, it's like everything seems like it's all there, but just something doesn't settle with it. And
Mhm.
so just that lingering type of tension and kind of, like I said, that contrast. As I'm reading through the script, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm hooked. You know, when's the next episode? Even though it's just a pilot. But yeah, it gets me really excited. Just seeing how the story unfolds. And even for example, Howard's very blessed with the chance to kind of get to meet some of the cast or so, and just seeing how the characters are starting to unfold, starting to see the people in the story, just the way they like recite their lines, the way they like portray the character. I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, like this, I can see it. I can see it happen. And man, I'm just hyped. in one sense, I'm like counting on the days. In another sense, I'm like, well, we got a budget to catch.
Yeah.
So like I'm in a rush, but I'm also not.
And I also I just want to point out I love the word you use, contrast, because there's just so much of that in the series. And oh, I see your earbud fell out again. Sorry
Get
for
some
pointing that
headphones.
out. But
Okay.
contrast, I don't know, like, in fact, I'm not gonna name drop the artist because we don't have like contracts and everything signed yet, but there's actually someone writing an original song for the pilot to Anti, and I've heard like the first draft of that, and oh my gosh, and you've heard it too, Colby.
Oh man.
Yeah. But we're very much going for like a 70s, 80s-ish style in music. In fact, when we were writing the series back in early 2020, we were listening to a lot of that 70s, 80s music for inspiration on the series. And
we actually name each episode title after some lyrics that inspired us for that episode. So the first episode is going to be titled When the Night Has Come, which is from you want to say?
Stand By Me
Yes.
by what's the artist? Benny King.
Top 10 songs ever made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man.
That is something that I am just like, I'm curious if we got any comments about that song yet.
I think the kids are really behind.
Oh, okay. Sorry if we're missing a lot of your comments, everybody.
Hey, if the mods are able to shoot us some interesting stuff,
yeah,
we
if
might
you
be
could,
able to.
I'll put my phone on oh well, still notifying my laptop.
We'll see it.
Yeah, we'll see it. But anyway, we very much have Anti is very grounded in like you can have this very upbeat, like When the Night Has Come, or a song from the Beatles or something, like starting out with the early seasons when you're supposed to, everything feels like it's seeming like it's trying to play okay, but it's really not. And I think that just mirrors so much of like how it is actually going to be when evil has taken over in this world, trying to I mean, like we were talking about earlier, even Gowden doesn't know what's going on with this. He doesn't know that he's being used to unfold this this demonic worldview that is coming up. And so you have a contrast within the music in the series with like Stand By Me. Just to be clear, we haven't licensed that song yet to use in the show, but we're gonna work on it.
It's on the wish list.
Yeah, on the wish list. I'm not gonna name drop any other songs right now, but maybe in another live stream. And so was there anything else we might want to bring on? We might want to bring on.
I hope it'll let us, right?
Yes, it'll let us. Colby, you're free to either stick around if you want, or you can give some final thoughts.
Y'all know what to do. Check out the website. Go enjoy yourself some merch. I definitely myself am gonna get myself a t-shirt. What else is there? You should probably check out the script. That I'm telling you, you see that? It all makes sense.
Another thing that you can do is we're going to have our cast. Once we finalize our cast, we're going to have, because everyone's all over the place, we're going to have a virtual table read. So we're going to go through all of the scripts. And if you're like me, I like to read it at the same time as I'm hearing it. And it also gives you a good idea of the character. So I would say that's the perfect companion to the script access, is the table read access. And that way you you can follow along and stay up to date with everything.
And just to be clear, you can go ahead and
oh my God.
oh,
Guys, we just got a $1,040 order from Sherry Bowman.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, wow,
Sherry.
thank you so much.
Welcome to the producer team,
Welcome.
Sherry.
Welcome to the club.
Yes. So that's for associate producer, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Like,
And
it's
she's
funny
gonna
because
be
we
an associate producer in style because she got the t-shirt too.
yes. And it's
Okay.
really funny because we came on this live stream like, oh, we're gonna be announcing a producer.
Oh, we're announcing a ton of producers.
And that's thanks to you. That is all thanks to you. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. Sorry if we're missing comments too. Like it's just moving by. It's lagging a lot.
Gotta love the internet.
Might be able to see it on my phone here.
If I'm looking down, it's because I'm calculating our new total. So
But thank you again so much,
thank you
Sherry.
for
This is
everything.
Awesome.
we cannot describe how much we appreciate this, and we just love you guys so much for your support and prayers, and you're the family. You're the family.
You're the family. Spread it all around.
Yes, spread the
One
family.
big family.
love.
We're like one huge family. Bring it all
Mhm.
together. One family.
So anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and bring on mystery producer, who you now know everybody's name.
Drum roll.
Let's see.
That's on your cue.
Okay, I just sent the link to the Zoom meeting to our producer, who
All right, here we go.
depends on how good your memory is if you know who he is or not, because we shouted him out earlier.
But he was a producer before he paid for it. because
Yes.
He's been so helpful.
And here he is.
Yes.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, sorry.
Boyd Corbett,
Hi, boy.
connecting to audio.
Here we are.
Hi, Boyd. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
It is going great. And thank you so much for that donation
you.
earlier.
You know, it's funny. I'm really limited this month because I'm in the midst of buying a house, and so I had to call my lender today. I said you're going to see a charge, but it will disappear in a couple days because I'll take the money out of my account and pay. He says, okay, thanks for letting me know, but if you understand buying houses, they don't want you to do it. They don't want you to buy a Portillo's meal. They want you to keep it all in the bank. So it's funny. Jenna, I read the script only about 3 times. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
I'll comment officially to you all tomorrow, but it's fabulous. I love the uniqueness of the pitch. I just think it's so different. But I think folks that love thinking about and talking about end times are going to go crazy for it because it's unique because nobody else is doing it. So
Thank you so much. And that's really the thing, because it's fun to speculate on some of the things that might happen. Like, even though
Yeah.
we're not trying to
Not
we're
trying
trying
to
to-
say this is how it's going to be, but we're saying
so I am
fun to explore it.
yeah.
Noah, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Oh,
I don't know why it's so quiet, but
I'm curious, is anyone in the chat having trouble hearing us? Just to make sure, like, am I better now, or?
no, so it's I'm just trying to see if I have a way of increasing the increase in volume because I hear you, but it's very light. and everyone can hear me because I'm never quiet, but
Yeah. Well, try turning the volume on your phone up. Like people are saying
yeah,
that you have
I
trouble
did
with
that.
sound on your end.
Yeah.
And it's just not,
Yeah.
doing it. So
Everyone can hear you.
Huh. Everyone's saying that it's good.
It could be maybe.
Let's see. Maybe I can turn my okay. Does that increase volume? Output volume,
Let's see.
input volume.
Headphone users, hold your horses.
Yeah.
yeah, probably. I mean,
Thank you
what I
for that
probably
warning,
need to
Colby.
do is in the future use my computer, because then I wouldn't have any problem. But on the phone, it's just
Hey
I've got
Boyd,
my volume turned all the way up, and it's not doing anything.
hey Boyd, would you like to join back in on your computer?
Yeah. So
Just
do you mind? Do you mind emailing me the link? Can you do that?
yeah, I can email
Yep.
that.
If you can do
That works.
that, then that'd be real easy for me.
Okay, awesome. That'll only take me a minute. And one thing that I do want to say is to everybody out there, Boyd, he was one of the original investors for The Chosen season 1 when it was just the shepherd. So some of you may remember that time. Some of you may be more so newcomers to The Chosen, because I'm sure most of you out there know what The Chosen is if you're watching this. So and he actually brought on many investors from The Chosen to work on
Hey, Noah,
yeah.
which of my email addresses are you sending that to?
Well, do you want me to say it out here in front of everybody, or?
I don't mind. It's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, cool. Hashtag don't hack Boyd. Let's see.
Team Boyd.
There was that one email address, like let me go back to it. For some reason I'm forgetting what it is now.
Which
Okay,
email address
Fiber.
do you want it to?
Okay, I'm doing it to the FiberLux one. At
Sure, FiberLux.
.com.
Because I've got both Comcast and AOL. So
Okay, awesome. Copy that.
And guys, while he's doing that, when you add in Sherry's contribution, we are now standing at 26,874.
Oh, wow. Wait,
What was that number again?
26,874.
We almost got
Wait.
in like almost 10,000. Well, not quite, but not far from 10,000.
I can give you the number of what we're.
That is
How much we got.
amazing. That
wait, hold on. What was the original number before?
when we started out tonight, it was at 18,000.
18, okay.
18,000 some, and then now we're at
Well, it's still on the website. Well, I think I updated it earlier. It was before the live stream.
19,810.
When we started the live stream, it was 19,810, and then
Yeah.
before the first contribution from Jim tonight, it was at 18,000 something. So, yeah,
Whew. Wow.
give me a second.
I
and
just sent you the Zoom link, Boyd, by the way, so you can join back in. But anyway, Boyd was one of the first investors for The Chosen when it was just the shepherd, and he brought on many of the original investors for season 1. And you said that as gifts, you have like 20 hoodies, Boyd.
yeah, well, I couldn't stop. So
Yeah.
He's a collector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
He-
I do a lot of horseback riding, and so you always have to, oh, good, I can now. Ooh.
Okay.
Fabulous. That's so much better. Thank you.
Yes.
Yay!
Nice.
Yay.
We
This
are
is-
back in business.
So Jenna, as I was saying, I love the script. It's fabulous. It's I just, it's really, really neat. It's really different. I have so many people I know who absolutely love the end times, who love, this subject. And so one of the things I want to do is I start getting people to read the script and getting interest is I want the people I know who are nuts about Revelations or nuts about end times to really get it, because I think those will be people that will share the word faster than anybody because they're into it themselves. So they're going to
Yeah.
want to get other people into it. I was, I went to church with Dallas Jenkins in Chicago, and we had the resurrection of Gavin Stone was actually filmed at our church location. And so we were all very involved in it.
Yeah.
Whether we were extras or we donated lighting or we did all sorts of things. But it was really exciting to be part of that and to share in the excitement. It was so funny that when we did that, when we did the Christmas program, which ended up being the pilot, there was no thought whatsoever in Dallas's mind that this was going to turn into something other than a Christmas special. But the standing ovation that they got from just watching the little Christmas program gave us all the feeling that this was going to be really, really, really something special. And, even though Dallas speaks to it as, the gentleman who said, you just have to bring the loaves and the fish, and then the call from Angel and things like that. But I think that the people in the church, those of us that got to see that original program, were already thinking this is going to go a long ways. And it,
Mhm.
I think that the idea of getting that excitement spread out, as we get people involved, as we get people reading the script, as we get people sharing that around, I think we're going to see that exponential growth, not that, one at a time. I think it's going to really just blow up. But I think that it is so unique. So what I did spend a little time doing today is I went to Angel Studios and I went to The Chosen, and in my email, in my background, and just started printing out things that they were saying in their emails and in their, do you want to get involved? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? So that we could come up with some sort of a few paragraph pitch. But I hadn't visited the website. I love some of the things you've got on the website. And so what I'm hoping to do is tomorrow morning, spend a little time, put together a couple of ideas and send them to you and have you two look at them and see if there's something you see there that is, that is catchy, that you like. I've actually got 3 people at my local church here in Phoenix, 2 of which were in the original, 2 were in the resurrection of Gavin Stone. And so they're already familiar with Dallas, and they're already familiar with the, with the show and with The Chosen and everything. So I'm getting them to read them. We spent 38 weeks in our men's group going through Revelations.
Oh,
And
wow.
we had one of our senior pastors is a historian. He's also got a doctorate, and I can't wait to get this in his hands and
Yeah.
have him look at it.
Yeah.
And then my deacon leader of the church, so I actually work for him, even though there's 6 of us on the team. He also loves Revelations, and so I can't wait to get him to read it. But I think that while we have to get donations as quickly as we can, I think that along with that, we have to start getting a lot of excitement growing, getting people to say,
Yep.
man, I love this. What can I do? Well, the minute they say, what can we do? Now we can give them ideas of what they can do. Already the gear is fabulous. I love the gear. I didn't do anything with the gear just because I felt it was more important to get the larger donation in right away. Just,
Thank you.
but I can't wait to get some gear and start wearing that around. But it's just the first thing that popped out at me is it's just so unique. And Jenna, you say you have a tough time verbalizing, but you verbalized real good with that script. It is just, it's so fabulous. It's just really amazing. So, but you know, my background is I grew up on a horse farm. My family was in the horses and in the lighting. And so I spent 40 years doing lighting design of buildings and that sort of thing. But I've also ridden horses all that time. So I didn't get saved until I was 35. My mom changed churches every time she didn't like what the pastor said. So we were changing very often. So growing up, I didn't have a lot of, I'm going to say, Christianity in my life. I had several people talk to me. I didn't listen to them, you know, kind of said, yeah, right. But what's amazing now is I look back and all of my siblings are saved. All of my children are saved, and most of my grandchildren are saved. And it's, you know, some of those were just one at a time. In fact, I got to share faith with my mom about 3 hours before she passed on. And for the last 2 days of her life, I was praying that the nurses would step out for at least a moment so I could talk to her. And I was just almost praying nonstop. And all of a sudden, the nurse comes by and says, I really have to take a break for a few minutes. Do you mind watching your mom? I said, no, I'd love to. And during that time, my mom and I were able to cry together, and she accepted Christ. And I think that your idea of, yeah, it's great to talk about end times, it's great to do it, but you have the same idea in mind that we had originally with The Chosen, and that is to save lives. That is to share faith, and that is to get people who don't have the Lord in their life to want to have the Lord in their life.
And the thing that's so misunderstood is that so many people just don't actually, like, they know from what they've heard about who God is, or have just heard or have a misunderstanding, but they don't actually know who God is.
Right. Yeah.
And I love what The Chosen has done by, you see the hurt, and you see the love and compassion that Jesus has on these people. And go ahead.
I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to, I don't want to tell somebody stuff. I don't want to tell them what they should believe.
No.
Because I know that if I were them, I would listen.
But you know,
I would see something and then get my own opinions about it.
Sure.
My way of sharing my love for Jesus is by making movies.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, Jenna, but I love the movies are great, and The Chosen has done a fabulous job. When I first got saved, I was on fire. And the only bad news was when somebody would turn me down, they wouldn't accept Christ as their savior. I took it personally. So I was, you know, I was mortally offended when somebody would say no, or that's a bunch of garbage, or this type of thing. And then a guy who ended up, the guy who was in, so I got saved on a Saturday morning after I had a horrible break-in at our house back in Illinois. I was in Minnesota. I was on a fishing boat with two pastors and a assistant pastor. And I was fishing for fish and they were fishing for men. And they caught the bigger one, the fish that I caught. But, you know, the guy who ended up sharing faith with me, who is now I don't know how to relate, but he's the father-in-law of my oldest daughter. And he actually lives directly across the street from my daughter and son-in-law. But, you know, he was the one who said afterwards that the Lord isn't looking for you, Jenna, to save people.
Mhm.
He's simply looking for us in whatever way we do it to share the message.
Mhm.
We'll do the
Yeah.
same. You know, if you remember the scene in The Chosen where he looks down and says to Peter, "You just bring the bodies. I'll sort them out later. Just
Mhm.
bring me all kinds. Whatever you bring, we'll sort them out later." And what I love about the message that they did is Dallas was always looking to put the message out there that there is something more. And if we think about the 80% of this world that doesn't have faith, and the fact that they believe that what we have today, where we're living today, is all there is. There is no eternity. There is no future. And so they're in a pitiful shape. And so The Chosen has done a really, really good job in what it does. But I believe firmly that Anti it's going to be a different message, but it's the same message. It's you need to pay attention because this is important. And, you know, you again said you can't verbalize, or you don't necessarily verbalize, and you're not necessarily wanting to say, go out and share faith, but you can share the message in what you all are doing. Excuse me, the you all, I spent a lot of time in Kentucky, so I still have that you all kind of thing. But the message that you're going to be putting out we're going to be putting out through Anti is just an incredible message. And as much as The Chosen needs to come and see, needs to be heard, this has to be heard. People have to understand what's actually going to happen. People have to understand what are the circumstances. And they may not want to listen to you if you tell them, you better watch out. This is going to tell it for you.
Yeah.
It's going to tell the story. It's going to get people saying, wait, what can I do to stop this? Or what can I do to be on the right side? And, you know, it's the same type of thing. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to drag on. I'm not preaching, but
No worries.
I love what you put together. I'm always concerned about the goal. My father worked very hard on teaching all of his children about setting goals and following those goals and that sort of thing. So what I grew up doing in school, even as a kindergartner, is every single day I set the goals for that day, and I graded myself on how well I got through those goals.
Yeah.
So what I've been talking to Noah about is that we have to set goals, and we have to get everyone on the team thinking about the goals and thinking about how we make it happen. So let's just say in 30 days, just throwing out numbers, we need to come up with $65,000, or we need to get $65,000 in donations. So what the first thing I would do is I'd put out that number, put it in front of me on the chalkboard, and then I divide that up into baby steps. So the what we have to do each day and that sort of thing. So I got to spend several years as the head of the new persons class for an addictions program. And our idea was millions of people have addictions. Millions of people don't have a way of getting away from those addictions. But if we can get those people saved, they have a real good chance of using the Lord, leaning on the Lord to help them get through those addictions. But what we tried to do is, first and most important thing, we want to get them saved. But then we want to take them through a 10-step program, which is going to be 10 different learning, let's call them scripts to learn. And they're going to start taking baby steps forward. And each $1,000 we get, or each $45 we get, or each $5 we get is a baby step. And the neat thing about baby steps, if you take enough baby steps, even if you start to falter, you're not going to fall all the way back. You're going to fall a little bit back, but you're not going to get back to ground zero. You're going to be halfway there, 2/3 of the way there, or something like that. my sister Blythe is at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, and she is a senior professor and has one of the country's largest autism programs. And she uses the whole idea of baby steps, and what her program is, you'd be amazed. It just fits in so well with what we're doing. Is her science is using theater and the arts to help bring autistic children and autistic people out of their funk so that they can be taught. The
Yeah.
program is 98% effective. She's in her 17th grant that she's gotten. And in fact, the most recent grant, Jenna, is almost all of the grants before this have been for children, where she's doing her first 2 major grants for adults. But the killer is that most people don't know it. Almost every one of those grants have been directed towards young men. And the young girls were maybe not forgotten, but they felt like they wanted to concentrate on young men. And so almost every grant that's been given out for autism has been for young men. Well, she just got awarded by NIH the largest autism grant they've ever given out, and her largest grant, and it's all about young ladies. And it's all about taking all of those programs that were given out to the young men, and the females were ignored, and she gets to bring that to them. And so, but the whole thing about what she talks to them about is baby steps. So we're not going to try and get too far. We're just going to try and take this today. Tomorrow, we're going to try and take another step. And what she does is she uses peers. So high school young men and young women to be the partners to each of the girls, each of the young men or each of the girls, and to help them every step of the way. And so, but what the whole program is to get us over our addiction, get us over our little problem, get us over the hump. And I couldn't stop thinking about, with what you're doing, that this could be an amazing direction to help people who their problem is they're, going to hell, and getting them through their problem, getting them through the anchor that's attached to them. I think this could do an incredible path to do that. So anyways, I'm really excited. What I suggested to Noah is that my primary job today in life is prayer. And I have a unique group of 65 individuals that are spread around the world, that we work within our own places, and we pray constantly, but we also get together and we pray for each other. We pray for other things going on. So I started sharing a bit with them after Noah and I talked the other day, and I just feel like, this is a local thing for us right now, but we've seen how The Chosen has gotten out to so many countries. Just imagine what's going to happen with Anti once it gets, once it loops over the US boundaries or the North American boundaries to around the, because no matter what is in the United States, we still have more Christians, more people who have faith than any other country in the world as far as percentage. So those people out there who need that faith, they need to have their problem fixed.
Exactly. And like what you were saying with reaching people around the world. In fact, that video we did on our YouTube channel, that Against the Tide Media's YouTube channel, What is Anti?
Yep.
The people who submitted there, that was actually from, some of the people there were from around the world. And
Isn't that incredible?
that was just, that was amazing. I mean, we do have a lot of friends through this journey that we've been through with Against the Tide Media already, and just to show them about Anti, and that was just incredible. And for you out there, like what we were talking about earlier with putting out numbers, how much how much we have, how much we're trying, how much we
I've
still
got the
need.
numbers. It's $48,003 is what we still need right now. So
Isn't that, but
Yeah.
where did you start out today, Jenna?
we started out today. Let's see.
What did you need at the beginning of the day, I guess is what the question is.
It was around 18,000, almost 19,000.
Let me see real quick. 40.
So Jenna, is math one of your good subjects or one of your? Okay,
For the both of us.
yeah, okay.
Our father, on the other hand, our dad.
Yeah, I just got the
Different
opportunity
story.
to become friends with him. I got a friend request and I came up with a few things through Noah's, through the story of Noah's Ark, that I came up with some ideas that were unique. And so I started putting them out on Facebook. And it got picked up. I had something like, I don't know, 15,000 comments or something. And I started getting all these friend requests from around the world. And you were mentioning you have people loving the show from around the world. Right now on Facebook, I have 1,445 friend requests.
Oh, wow.
Of
Wow.
which I'm desperately
Man.
afraid of saying yes to them, because along with people around the world, you've got a lot of different, I don't know anything about these people, and I
Yeah.
can do the research I want. So I started thumbing through them today, and that's when I found your dad's friend request. And so I'm having fun. But what they told me was, if I start turning down the friend requests, that's going to open it up to just getting them right back again. So they said the best thing to do, if you don't want to respond to them, just don't respond. And they're sitting out there, they can't put another friend request in when they've already got one in. So, but there are so many people out there that are lost, and there's so many people that need help. And I think that's why, the prayers that I put out there and the prayers that we get, even on the chosen, prayer group, I think it's amazing on how fast it's growing.
Yeah.
So, but
Answer to your question.
yeah,
At the beginning of the day, we needed 56,183,
oh my gosh.
and now we need $48,003.
So we just have to duplicate what we did today, every day, and we'll be done in about a week. No.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That would.
Well, we are planning on doing a lot more of these. And one thing that I just want to say, because I'm planning on getting off before, like I would like to be off by it hits 10 o'clock Eastern time, maybe, but we'll be doing plenty more of these, so we'll be back. But I'd just like to say, show Jenna some love, because she does not like getting on these live streams at all. And I want to see the whole comment section just blow up with how you want to see Jenna on all of these live streams.
Jenna, can I
all
tell
of
you
them.
something that you may not know? Amanda feels the same way you do. Amanda Jenkins feels exactly as you do. And by the way, Kristen is Amanda's partner, and they write a lot of things together, and she did the children's book. She feels the same way too. So neither one of them like to, but everybody loves to see them. And so, while, we'd rather see your pretty face than see Noah's. No, I'm kidding. Don't take offense by that. No, I'm totally joking. But we, just deal with it, because you'll make a big difference.
Thank you. I want to say I'm a full-time student and I'm still working. So
Yeah.
I'm working tomorrow, and everything that I put in, all of my paycheck goes straight into the budget. So if you see some jumps in there, it might be for me too.
Everyone who cares and loves it, as we spread the word, that's going to make the difference. So, I think just what we have to do is we have to spread the word and get to some right people. So even though I haven't lived in Illinois for almost 7 years, I still have contacts. So what I'm going to spend first most important thing I'm doing this weekend is coming up with a little letter, coming up with a little invite to, one, read the script, but also to get involved. And that involvement can be a number of different things, but however they want to get involved, we want them to get involved. But then the other thing I want to do is not just find people who read the script, but find people who are, willing to put up some dollars and invest. I love that Sherry got into this, by the way. I've been with her in the auction, in the auction program for The Chosen for a long time.
In fact, Boyd, I think that you were actually one of the ones, like when we were doing that whole DVD, autographed DVD thing with
Yep.
like Guide Media interviews. You actually like won the auction on one of those. Was
Yeah,
it?
Shmuel.
Which one was it?
Shmuel.
Shmuel.
Yes, exactly. I apologize. His name, I have trouble with his name, but yeah, I still have the video, or the
Yeah.
video. Thank you. And it was just
I
so
remember printing out the case and everything, like buying the DVD cases and then printing out the cover and making the DVD, shipping those out. It was that was quite a time. Maybe we'll have to do that again sometime.
That would be cool.
Or
well,
Sounds fun.
but all of those ideas, there are no bad ideas. There's a lot of ideas. We just have to try and pick out 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, whatever, that are going to make a difference and that people want. If you look at like The Chosen, how it's grown with the gear and all of that, some of the things have been flops. Most things have been good because there's a lot of crazy people out there like me who are, every time something came out, when Dallas would get on and says, I'm telling you all privately, this stuff we don't have too many of. Well, we were all ordering it before we ever got off of his private message. So that's how I got 20 hoodies and things like that. So
I'm too many of these.
no, like
well, the funny thing
never,
is I
never.
live in Arizona. We have over 100 days a year at 110 degrees or more, and I own 20 hoodies.
Maybe you can have too many hoodies.
yeah. In
Yeah.
that case, I mean,
Yeah.
ship them up to someone in Canada. Ship them up to the Canadians. and-
Actually, I could ship
Yeah.
them to people in Lynchburg, Virginia, because they're going to need them too this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it really shifts in weather here
It
in
does.
Virginia. Like it's like a tropical rainforest in the summer, and it's it's like Canadian mountains, like
Yeah.
the Northeast in the winter. So
Jenna, would you do me a favor when you get a chance? Would you check at Liberty and just check to see if Meredith Andrews is still very popular there, even though she graduated several years ago. She was part of the Vertical Church Band, but she went to school in Lynchburg and got her degree, and she talks it up very heavily. I just don't know if she's still considered popular around there or not.
Okay, I'll check for you.
Yeah, she was in the Vertical Church Band, which was based in Illinois at the same place where Dallas and I were. And they, that Vertical Church Band became very, very popular and everything. But she and herself had a lot of important songs and records and that sort of thing. So I'd just like to know, because she was one of the people I want to contact. But, I just, I had put her together with my sister because there was some autism in her family. And so, who knows? But so Noah, what is your plan for the weekend?
for the weekend, well, I guess right now I'm just kind of taking it along as stepping out on faith as what God is showing me, but I'm probably going to keep making these posts, shouting people out who donated, and putting comments out on people who've read the script, and also sharing more about our goals. Also seeing, because we have some videos that were done by Justin Overlander, who's one of our producers that I brought up.
I know him well. He's awesome. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fun.
Yes,
See, I
and
got to
also
know him pretty
Suzanne.
well because he was also working with the investors. So I think he had interplay with the investors group, and so I got to hear him all the time.
Justin's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the best.
And we also have Suzanne Jennings. Like I just use little clips of their videos in the big testimonial video that we have on our YouTube channel, but I'll post their full videos on their own for both Justin and Suzanne.
Good.
And
So
yeah.
Jenna and Noah, do you have, if we're going to put together a request letter, a letter for involvement, are there certain things that you really want to get across in that? Do you have some things that you're emotional about that you want to communicate to people who might consider investing, whether it's reading a script or something? Because if you put down just a few notes, I absolutely want to have your input in trying to formulate this, because that's really important. So knowing what you want to see, Jenna, what you want to see, not Colby, you also, I mean, any thoughts? Because as we go along, we're going to put something out there, and we may have a couple different varieties if we're asking for somebody to read the script versus somebody else to invest versus somebody else to maybe get some gear or whatever involvement we can get. But if there are any thoughts that you have that you want to have part of this, I need those thoughts, because it's coming from the two of you, and that means so much to people.
I'll be thinking and putting together a list for you. I think, like, personally, I stepped out in faith and just kind of put my whole graduation's kind of, it's riding on this film being funded.
Because I mean, that's how much, like, over what you and I have progressed on this story for the past 2 years, that's how much it means to us, and that's how much we want the world to get the message in this story. And I'm so passionate about it. You're so passionate about it. Colby, you're so passionate about it. Boyd, you're so passionate about it. And
What we have to do is get that across in our request.
Yeah.
So if you could just,
saying,
even if it's just a paragraph, something that we can put that's going to be your heart and soul that we're putting out there, because those kinds of things make so much difference to people, because it's coming from your heart. So I do these prayer posts on about 12 different sites. And so I take a graphic that Peace with Heaven does, Dana Howard, she's really an amazing woman. I take the graphic that she puts out with a verse and maybe a little prayer afterwards. And then I take and I write out the verse, I'm sorry. And then I put down what it means, because so many people put out verses and you have no idea what it means. So I put the meaning of it, and I use several different people who are much smarter than I am to do that. Well, I just recently started putting an application paragraph in there, what that means to you and what that means to me and everything. It's amazing on how many more people I have following it now, because it's actually telling you what we need to do. So it's like, here's the meaning of the verse, but here's what it means to you and I as action. And so just having that little thing on there, I've actually, the comments and the feelings from people have gone up by over 200%. And so that makes a difference. And your emotions in this request and in this program are going to mean so much now, and are going to mean more and more, because you're the heart and soul behind this. And it's great to have producers. It's great to have people like Justin. It's all these, everyone can work really hard, but that's always going to be important.
Yeah. And with what, like, I'm sorry I interrupted you a little bit earlier, Jenna, but what were you going to say as far as like what your heart in this? And
well, I think just I could have taken the easy way out and made a film that wasn't faith-based as a thesis. So it would have been really easy. I had way more than enough money to do that and know that I'll graduate, you know. But I felt like this story was too important to set it on the back burner and do it later. So I just I'm trusting God to provide the funds so that I can make this and I can graduate from the program and not end up with student loans and no degree. So,
And I mean, I don't know. I'm not one who tries to speculate like, oh, the rapture will be this year or it'll be 5 years from now. I don't get into that at all. But in fact, in the series, I guess you could say it's kind of a period piece because it's the 2040s, supposed to take place in the 2040s.
but we never really agreed on that. But we just, I want to have it as an undefined time.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, I just
So
picture
does, so does
2040.
the Lord. So does the Lord. We can have
Yeah.
all the guesses we want to have, and they're all great. But you know, the Bible says that nobody knows the day or the time. So,
Because-
Yeah.
but you know, I would love. I would love to be here still on this earth to take part in the rapture. That would be so exciting. But if I'm not, if I'm already in heaven, well, I'll see it from a different angle. So it's perfectly all right with me.
Yeah,
Then of course I
and-
can see it without all the pain, and I can see it with my perfect body. So
yeah. And with what we were saying, like it worked because we're able to go a little bit more like futuristic as far as technology and all that, like advancements in the world, but it's not like crazy sci-fi, like it's believable and you understand behind all the technology that you're seeing. Like it
It's
doesn't,
realistic.
it's realistic, grounded still, but it's cooler than what we have now. But
I wanna-
but oh, go
where do you
ahead.
go?
I was just saying that with you choosing to make the film now and kind of take a little bit of risk on it and step out on faith, I shouldn't say risk because God's got this project the whole way, but time is still limited. I mean, the sooner we get this out, the more people are going to see it, and we're just trying to go by God's timing of when because he obviously knows best when the most effective time for this to be out. And especially from tonight, we've been seeing a lot of miracles happening. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling that we're gonna hit our goal by the end of this 30-day run.
So Jenna, I'd love to send you a friend request on Facebook. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't want to, I didn't want to do it without asking you first, just because I'm a 66-year-old old man out in Arizona. So, it's, but I just, again, I'm so excited. I'm loving taking part in this with you and, going along this path. What I just want to make sure we do is that we keep doing baby steps and we get really serious about asking for help. And we can't be afraid of asking for help. So a couple of those investors who were initial investors in the Chosen, I want to get to them because they are people who could write a check and not only fund the initial, but could fund the first, years. I think the thing is people have to read the script so they can see how exciting that is. And we have to catch their emotions. We have to say, they have to be able to say what we're all saying. This has to happen because this is important, because the story hasn't been told and the story needs to be told.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I'll send that to you tomorrow when I put something together.
Right.
And then if you just tell me what is good, bad, and ugly about it, so we can change it and we can get it feeling right. Don't hesitate to send it out to anyone else on the team who you feel like is going to help us get it. And maybe it ends up being 2 or 3 different ones, something like that. But the sooner we get that and people have that in their hands where they can send that out, it's a whole lot easier to come up with names if you already know what you're going to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So,
That sounds like a good.
and you have some people at the university that you've talked to, is that correct? That have backed things like this in the past?
I not at the university, no.
Okay.
I've met some people I've worked on sets that are, affiliated with Liberty in different ways that I'll be reaching out to.
That's
So,
great. And one of the things I want you to know is just like in sharing faith and things like that, my son Colin, who I served with at Harvest, loved serving with him at Harvest in Illinois because we were the usher greeter leaders, and he was one step up the ladder from me, but he used to fire me every Sunday and then rehire me every Monday because that's the way he was. He didn't like some of the things I did. I didn't like some of the things. People used to come up to me and complain about him. And I said, oh yeah, he's a rotten kid. Not knowing that he was my son, but we, in working together, in doing things, we were so co-joined in a matter of way. He was, we went to a Baptist church, and he learned all about directing, and we learned about filming, and we learned about running cameras, and we learned about editing and things like that. And so he went and took that detail, and he came to me when he was 21 years old. He was working for a hotel and putting on all their shows and making excellent money for somebody who hadn't been to college. And he came to me and he said, Dad, I know it's going to shock you, and I have a good idea what you're going to say, but I want to quit my job and go work as a political consultant and work on a campaign. And I remember my father telling me that would be over his dead body. And I remembered how that hit me, as it was it hurt me really bad. So I said, that sounds great. I'm so behind you. I love it. Let's go. And if it doesn't work out, we'll get you another job at a hotel where you can, go back to making good money. And he's still a political consultant today, and he's celebrating, I think, 12 years, and he's done phenomenally well and everything. But what we always said is that we have to get people to believe what it is that message we need to send. And you may tell it one way, and Colby may tell it another way, and I may tell it a third way, but it takes all of us to share the message, and we share it with the people that we know. But what I want you to understand is that if you want to approach somebody and you're leery about approaching them yourself, dump it off on me. I'm not afraid of talking to anybody about getting saved or about that message or anything. So I just know that it is so important that we get to these people soon. And we may not say it the right way, but it's just like sharing faith. God is going to honor that effort that we put in. And he certainly proved today that he's already honoring it. And I think that we just have to keep opening the door for him to, or we just keep having to go to him so he opens more and more doors.
Exactly.
So,
Absolutely.
but let me
100%.
ask you this, the 30-day time frame.
Yeah.
Just so I understand, what is the reason for having that deadline? Is it because getting time in the lab? Is the time hinged on getting your thesis done or getting the filming done? What is that? What is the critical junction there?
So the things that are being paid for with that money, cast, crew, locations, production design, it's all what you see on the screen. And that has to be in before we start principal photography.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And you have the DP, right?
We do have a DP.
Awesome. That's so exciting.
And if you want to look him up, his name is Joshua Wanderer.
His work is
He's-
phenomenal.
Yeah, he has a very, very unique style, and it just works so well, like with what we were trying to go for. It is like I can't wait to be working on set with him and just seeing like your vision go through his lens, and
Yeah.
that's just gonna be
I'm so ready for
exciting.
that.
And you're going to
well,
the filming is going to be done in Atlanta, right?
Lynchburg.
for this.
Oh, it's going to be done in Lynchburg. Okay.
Half in Lynchburg, and the plan right now, I haven't signed the papers yet, but I have a location in McLean, which is right near DC.
Yep.
And so the other 4 days.
Is that the mansion?
It is, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, because we
Yeah.
haven't like officially signed that yet, I would show it to all of you publicly, but like maybe shortly from now I can do another live stream because we're doing these all.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just the fact that you're working on it. You got it planned. It's just so awesome. So did you see that the shift is has hired Liz?
Yes.
Yes.
So that-
That's so exciting.
So I was able to watch that today. After I read the script, I got to watch that to kind of get ideas on what they're doing. And I had the great honor of meeting her and talking with her a little bit. And I can't wait for Anti to be able to get some people that are as influential as she is, meaning get people who are really going to make a difference, whether they're well known or not, but people are going to make a difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, with we already have some of our cast. Like there are a lot more. Like I'm not going to name drop anybody we haven't.
But is there a young lady we all know about who you've talked to so far, or no?
No.
Like like there are a lot of people in mind for certain characters, but we cannot.
Well, I know.
anyone.
I have talked to and met her mom, and I'm praying that opportunity comes up.
Well, so are we. We're just hoping, praying, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see where God takes this because
Sure.
Yeah, she would be so good in that role. But there's so many people-
I just envision. I mean, I just see how perfect she was for her role at The Chosen. So, you know, and she's got parents like you all have that are real cheerleaders, that are really, you know, doing everything they can to boost her and give her the confidence that she can do anything she wants.
Yeah, and then we also there are also some exciting people who you may know of. We're not going to name drop, but for the Secret Service agent roles in Anti. You don't even know about that yet, Boyd, but we should be
again,
doing
you
that
don't.
soon.
I'm not asking.
I'll
We're
keep
not
you
asking
updated.
for secrets right now, but because we got enough to do right now. But it's just
Right.
it's so exciting to see all these things that are going on. So, and you all have to protect yourself with all the things that you're working on, because we producers have a task, right? We have certain things we need to do. Justin has certain things he needs to do. We just have to be sure that we're all rowing the boat together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the I'm planning on getting off of here in just a minute, but I did want to leave on a few notes. Like some of the cast we do have confirmed are lead role for Emmanuel Gowden, Jarrett Lemaster.
Yeah, I know
Yay.
you mentioned him to me. I can't wait to connect with him. That's so exciting.
And with Jarrett, he is I don't know how many, like, put it in the comments if you know of Babylon Bee.
Yes, I do.
He is one of the producers there, one of the
Yeah,
main-
I've actually seen him in that. Yes.
Yeah.
He's done a variety of skits. He's also been in some other films. Like he played a driver in Unplanned.
It was the lead role, and I believe it's called Turnaround Jake.
Yeah, Turnaround Jake. That's on Pure Flix, by the way. Which I probably need to see that too. Because
I've seen it. It's just been a while since I've seen it. It was great, and I didn't put it together when he auditioned that was him, because he's so good at taking on a role and like becoming a different person.
But basically, no way that you can see him like in something that he's been now. It's just so different from everything that that he's going to be doing in Anti. Like he's just such a diverse actor, and it's just fascinating. And he's so good at doing that accent too. Like most Americans cannot do a British accent at all, but he's special.
I thought he was British at first.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
He auditioned like all the way through, even introduction.
He slayed it in British, and I was like,
Yeah.
Has Justin been able to bring you any contacts as far as people for roles?
Not yet.
Well, you know, he's so involved with the shift. I'm sorry. I've got to imagine that his time is so limited because of what he's doing
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he loves the project, and he's wishing us well along the way, and he's involved like as much as he can be. And yeah, he's gonna also help us reach out to some investors that he knows of,
It's
and
great.
make some connections. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll probably be having him on a live stream like very, very soon. Maybe probably either the next or the one after, but we're doing them all through the month. So
Great.
Yay.
and then
Great.
one more role, Suzanne Jennings. We already mentioned her.
Yeah.
earlier.
Mhm.
And I got to see her in the video. She's great.
Yeah.
I gave her a hug today. And
That's great.
on that note, I am first dating a project that she's acting in, and I have a time commitment that I've given tonight to the actors to get their preliminary call times to them. So I'm probably gonna need to head out in a minute.
Yeah, like I know I said 15. No, Colby, I know you texted me. We cannot announce that yet. I know you're dying to get that out there, and so am I, but we've got to
Col-
wait.
Colby, you
No
got to
worries.
work on your
Yeah.
emotions. You just need to show more emotion. It's just, you.
I'm working on it. I'm working
I
on
can
it.
tell you're always.
I only know
you're
one
really good.
emotion.
Yeah. Well, good. Well,
so-
you guys get going. I don't want to keep you, but I just
Let's
and
close out in prayer.
Yeah,
may we? Do you want me to do it, or would you like to go from person to person?
it's up to you. You're the director.
Okay. So let me start, and you can decide what to do from there. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for the time we've had. Thank you for the wonderful communication we've been able to share, Lord. Lord, you know all of our hearts. You know Jenna so well, and you know Noah so well, and you know the Bennett family. Lord, we just ask you to protect them. We ask you to do as your will to open doors, Lord, that you know what the important goals we have, Lord, that you would help us to not only take the steps that are needed to make those happen, Lord, that you would change hearts, Lord, that you would know who we're going to be talking to, Lord, and you would give us the opportunity to really affect them. Lord, you know that this is a story that has to be told. You know that this is going to change hearts, and you know that millions of people are going to benefit and are going to have a relationship with you because of it. Lord, we just ask you to help us, to give us the wisdom to take each step, Lord, to help keep us on track, Lord, so we don't go down too many rabbit trails. Lord, we love you. We're focused on you, Lord. And we know that if we focus on you, Lord, that the things that we need to do will, that you'll make them happen. Lord, we just thank you. We love you. We ask you again to protect Jenna and Noah, protect everyone who is playing a part in this, Lord. And we just thank you for giving us the opportunity. Lord, we ask all of this in your name.
Heavenly Father, I just want you to bless all the people tonight who have been watching and supporting, and thank you so much for working this miracle tonight. You're the one who's bringing all of this together. We ask that this project will reach as many people as possible, and that they'll be impacted and will be guided every step of the way to know how to reach these people, and that they'll just be able to see your love through the storytelling in a way that's showing rather than telling. And please continue to bring the team together so that we can all make this the best that it can be. In your name, amen. In the name of Jesus.
Awesome. Okay, tomorrow's another day. Go get rest because we got a lot of work to do.
Yep, and we'll be back on these live streams. One comment I just wanted to shout out from earlier is Janice Barfield was asking if they could continue to donate. The answer to that would be yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
If you want to buy any of the merch or early table read access for when we do the table read, and you want to say who our acting coach is, or
Maybe save it.
Well,
Colby, be careful.
I was waiting on their cue. She's the director.
Okay, another live stream. We'll save it for another time, and
Sounds great. Yeah,
Is that a
and
teaser
yeah.
I see?
you've got lots of time to give away the secrets. You know,
Yeah.
we can keep a secret. It's just those people we tell, they can't keep a secret, right?
Sorry.
Alrighty,
So, but
on
Noah, just let me know anything that needs to be done that I can be working on. So I know what I need to do right away, but just whatever you need, just don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you
so
Love
much.
you guys.
Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
evening.
love you too.
Take
Take care.
Good seeing you.
Colby, it was
Thank
so
you.
nice meeting you. Take care.
You too.
Take care. Bye. Thank you all so much.